Gentlemen, I think a lot of men are quietly carrying the same feeling right now, that life could be better than it currently is. Not just externally, but internally. Better health, more wealth, happier relationships, aligned purpose, empowered confidence, deeper intimacy. We're aware of our potential, and yet so many of us become plagued by comparison and crippled into inaction. We know we can do better and have more, but we're not, and we don't. And that hurts us. David, William, Pearce, and I've had a vision for men's transformational yoga that I'd like to share with you. For over a decade now, yoga has been a part of my life. It's been my companion. It has shaped me, challenged me, and taken me around the world. And yet, over time, something about it began to feel lacking. Yoga absolutely has the power to transform, and for better or worse. But what I've realized is that transformation requires the correct orientation and disciplined application. And looking back over these last 10 years, I can clearly recognize how much support I've needed and not received as a man trying to become the better version of himself that he knows is possible. Because it seems to me that the nature of the masculine is to fix things, but pointing that same superpower back onto ourselves can sometimes become deeply uncomfortable. It risks feelings of inadequacy, of not good enoughness, of failure. And perhaps you've experienced something like this yourself at one time or another. I certainly have. Because I think so many men are silently carrying the weight of knowing they're capable of more, whilst not knowing how to access it. So we isolate, we distract ourselves, we work harder, more. We begin overthinking and avoiding. We try to solve it alone until eventually life forces change upon us. Often after we've already sacrificed the relationship we once craved, or the health we once had, or the passion we once felt alive inside of us. And honestly, I want to change that, not just for myself, but for the men I know and love, whose suffering I sometimes witness even if they're unwilling or unable to speak about it themselves. Because I know that experience deeply myself. There have been periods in my own life where I was unable to ask for help, especially when I needed it most. Not because I didn't care, but because I genuinely didn't know who to turn to, or even what I truly needed. And even when I did, I wasn't really met in the caliber of conversation that I deeply desired, craved, and needed. And I don't think I'm alone in that. So my desire with men's transformational yoga is to create something accessible. Because learning to access our innate power is priceless, but shouldn't feel out of reach, especially for the modern man who is juggling enough already. It should lighten the load, not become another burden. The world we live in operates through principles and patterns, but we didn't get taught that at school, and nobody really showed us how to work with them consciously. No one taught us how to regulate our nervous system or understand our mind, how to work with our sexual energy or move through fear consciously. No one showed us how to communicate effectively in relationship or create discipline without self-hatred. And I know firsthand how frustrating and defeating that can be and feel. So my vision for this space is to create a community of men who don't necessarily have all the answers individually, but together can support one another in becoming better. Men who help each other rise, whether that's through health, business, discipline, relationship, purpose, or self-mastery, because I believe masterminds matter. Spaces where, by working together, We elevate one another exponentially quicker than we can do alone. And I've experienced this when I trained martial arts, when my Cayman brothers and I fought each other into greater levels of achievement in the healthiest way possible. Over the last few years, I've been on a deep personal journey. And as I find myself beginning to emerge from it, a bruised but better man than the one who went in, I've started organizing and integrating the teachings and practices that have genuinely helped me along the way. From classical tantra to Taoist sexual practice, from Tony Robbins to Joe Dispenza, from movement and massage to meditation and behavioral change, not as philosophy to endlessly think about, but as tools to practically help transformation move out of the mind and into lived reality. Less practice to escape life and more lifestyle to actually enjoy. And honestly, transformation is possible. I've seen it in myself this year in ways that I didn't think were available to me before. Like getting to truly acknowledge and celebrate my birthday with loved ones for the first time in 25 years. Not because my life suddenly became perfect, but because I stopped abandoning myself inside of it. And your transformation, whatever it may be, is possible too. And you deserve it, my man. So, if something inside you feels like a full yes whilst listening to this, even just a little bit of you, then my intention is to create a space that genuinely supports you and other men like us. Weekly calls, practices that work, accountability to keep us in check, masterminds so that we can master our minds, transformation. Not just more information, but embodied change. But to do this, I need your support in return. It's time to stop watching from the sidelines and get into the game. So if you're in, reach out to me directly, write something in the comments, or follow the link in the description about transforming your life through MTY. And if this is no longer something that feels aligned for you, that's completely okay too. Because I want this community to become a space for men who are genuinely committed to growing honestly through discipline and transformation. Because I believe that kind of counsel matters. And I think the modern man needs it now, perhaps more than ever. The power is in your hands, gentlemen. So I look forward to where we go from here, because all I'm offering really is the opportunity to know yourself more deeply and to become the man you already know you're capable of being. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next transmission. Cheers.